You probably knew him as the voice of John Redcorn on King of the Hill, or maybe as Ken Hotate, the tribal leader from Parks and Recreation, who always had the best one-liners and the driest humor in Pawnee. But behind those animated roles was a real man, one with a voice that could move you and a heart that just wanted peace. Now, that voice has been silenced. Jonathan Joss, the actor behind some of the most iconic Native characters in television, was fatally shot on June 1st, 2025, in San Antonio. He was 59. Police arrested 56-year-old Sigfredo Alvarez Ceja, but the motive? That's where things start to twist. Was this just a neighbor dispute? Or was it something darker, rooted in hate? Because if you ask Tristan Kern de Gonzalez, Jonathan's husband, he'll tell you they'd been harassed for years. Jonathan was born in San Antonio in 1965. He grew up surrounded by tradition, family, and the echoes of tribal songs passed down through generations. He attended McCollum High School, dabbled in college theater, and eventually earned his theater degree from Our Lady of the Lake University. Then came Hollywood. His big break came in 1998, when the King of the Hill team needed a new voice for John Redcorn, after the tragic death of original actor Victor Aaron. Jonathan stepped in and never looked back. For more than a decade, he brought John Redcorn to life. Soft-spoken, spiritual, always barefoot, always saying, "I must heal myself." That voice? It became part of American pop culture. But Joss wasn't just behind the mic. He had on-screen roles in True Grit, The Magnificent Seven, Friday Night Lights, Ray Donovan, even ER. And let's not forget Parks and Rec. That role? Iconic. He made 5 unforgettable appearances as Chief Ken Hotate, going toe-to-toe with Leslie Knope and stealing every single scene. Off-screen, he had music in his soul. He formed the Redcorn Band, blending indigenous storytelling with folk and Americana. He played festivals, local venues, anywhere people would listen. And he just started working on a solo album in 2025. In February of that same year, he married his partner Tristan in a small but beautiful ceremony at the San Antonio Botanical Garden. Turquoise bolo ties, beaded medallions, matching smiles. The kind of love that radiates. But behind the scenes, things weren't peaceful. They'd been receiving threats since early 2023. Slurs on their windshield, flyers with Bible verses and hate speech slipped under their door, even graffiti on their fence telling them to get out. Police reports were filed, nothing stuck. And then came the fire. In January 2025, someone set their home on fire, the house Jonathan's father had built. They lost 3 of their dogs that night. Tristan would later describe it as watching your memories burn. They promised to rebuild. But some wounds don't heal easy. On June 1st, they drove back to check mail at the burned site. That's when they saw it. On top of the mailbox, the skull of one of their dogs, left there intentionally. Same collar, same markings. Before they could even process what they were seeing, a man emerged from the shadows, yelling slurs. According to Tristan, he shouted, "F*** shouldn't be here," and then he opened fire. Jonathan took 4 bullets, shielding Tristan with his own body. He died in his husband's arms. The shooter fled. Police caught him less than a mile away. And yet, SAPD issued a statement saying there was no evidence of a hate crime. Let that sink in. Despite years of threats, the burned house, the dog skull left behind, the slurs screamed seconds before the shots, they said there's no evidence it was about Jonathan's sexuality. Tristan went public days later. He posted, "Jonathan and I were harassed, targeted. They hated us for being married. He died protecting me." And people started listening. Petitions demanding a hate crime investigation gained thousands of signatures. Fans rallied outside San Antonio Police HQ holding signs. Justice for Joss. Hate is not a neighbor dispute. But so far, the charge remains murder, not hate-motivated murder. Meanwhile, Jonathan's final work lives on. He had just finished recording for the King of the Hill, Season 14 revival. In the new episode, John Redcorn's Jeep pulls up to Arlen's town center. His voice fills the air, calm, cool, and comforting. But now, that voice carries weight, because we know what it costs to get here. Fans are already planning tributes. Comic-Con will feature a silent chair with Jonathan's bolo tie. Die-hard viewers are posting TikToks reciting his best lines. Others are blasting his band's music at backyard barbecues, raising a beer to the sky. And yet, the pain is real. We didn't just lose a character. We lost a man, a husband, a musician, a voice that made millions laugh and then went home to face darkness we didn't see. So when you hit play on King of the Hill this August, when you hear John Redcorn say, "I must heal myself," ask yourself, are we doing enough to heal the hate around us? Because Jonathan Joss deserved more than applause. He deserved protection and peace. And that's something no revival episode can bring back. Let us never forget the man behind the mic and the message he stood for.